morning, good evening, testers around the world. We have a special person, Dorothy Graham from UK, who's an icon for testers across the globe, and she's celebrating her birthday in 2 days. Wishes from millions and millions of testers who have a career based on her vision. May God bless her with lots of wealth, peace and happiness. With that, I want Dorothy to...
Thank you so much.
Thanks, thank you, and we wish you good health and guide us forever and ever. Dorothy, I have a question for you. You have created this industry for us. You laid the road for people like me from down south in a small town, that there is life, there is hope, you have a career in software, and I was so passionate reading your books. How did you transform from a tester to a leader, which is what I think people should learn, because it's not just about testing and just sitting in a box. You have to inspire us that what is that art we should all become to be another Dorothy in the future.
Well, I'm a bit mystified by it all myself, so it's really hard to say how I did it or how it happened. I always like to say somebody up there planned my career a lot better than I did, or than I would have done. And I've always tried to help people, and I was put into a testing group by accident to start with, and that's what got me interested in testing. And my job there was to write tools to help run tests, so I got into test automation as well with my first job, quite by accident. So then when I went to my next job as a programmer, I was interested in doing testing. Then when I became independent and I could more or less do what I liked, I did more training, which I enjoyed. I liked speaking at conferences, I liked speaking at seminars, and it was a way also to help get business. We began a training company and did a lot of training. So if I spoke at a conference, I would get people into the training, so it was like a marketing. But also, we did a lot of work volunteering to help produce, for example, syllabuses for foundation level. We worked on producing a standard back in the days when those were very popular. So I've basically just always tried to help people in software testing by doing what I could. And the books came about because I thought they would be a good idea.
It's a blueprint for us forever and ever. Thank you for that. I think we'll have that as a Bible to follow. Moving on, it was your vision, and today I can't believe I'm in Copenhagen. Your vision. This is the 30th year. It's no joke. And listening to your keynotes and the way you started in the non-digital era with posters with no websites to a complete area of testing tool vendors here. We being one, but there are so many. It's a vision that you had, and how did this happen?
You give me far too much credit for my part in this. I was happy to be the program chair for the first EuroSTAR because it was organized by the special interest group in testing, which I was a member of, and I was finding speakers for that. So it was a natural thing to find speakers for the conference, and it just grew. I mean, I was never sort of involved in sort of writing any tools other than the one that I wrote that became sheltered. And I was never involved with commercial tool vendors other than trying to understand what their tools did when I was writing reports about them to inform people. And it is just amazing to see how EuroSTAR has grown from that very first one, when we were considering ourselves very fortunate to have 300 people attending, to this, which has over 1,200 people here, and a huge exhibition with, as you say, all these amazing tools.
We are testing only tools. And we are a startup, we're a proud startup, inspired by a vision, and we have just focused on helping accelerate the testers' achievement to make it easier for them. That's all our vision is, and it's reading your books. Moving on, you created a title called Chief Evangelist with this EuroSTAR, with a small special interest group, to transforming into a 30-year conference. And we are inspired by the title Chief Evangelist.
That wasn't my invention, and I don't think I've ever been called that. I've known people who've called themselves evangelists or testing evangelists. But
we look up to you, and we're ever grateful for what you've done for this community and bringing it to Europe, contextualizing, and every year you take us to great destinations. And it's going on and on and on, and there are like millions of followers. The best event I ever attended, to be honest.
Good. Well, that's really good to hear.
Yeah, amazing.
And it's the EuroSTAR team. It's the people based in Galway, Lorraine and Siobhan, and all the people who organise the conference. Ronan, who does the test huddle. They have a really good approach to the testing. They organise it superbly so it runs smoothly, but also they offer a lot of stuff to the testing community for free, which I think is wonderful.
Amazing. With all the advent of technologies, you transform from a brick and mortar to the digital era to a wonderful mobile app that we have at the conference where we can talk with clients, get people. Where do you see both testing as a function moving in the next 20 years? We don't know what's going to lie, but what is your vision? And where do you see EuroSTAR headed? That's your baby.
My baby, that's right, yes. Well, I certainly hope EuroSTAR continues and continues every year. It's interesting having it in the summer rather than the winter now, which is very nice. But I mean, testing is going to change because the technology is changing. The things that seem to be coming up now are artificial intelligence and machine learning. These are going to have a lot of challenges for testing. And I think that if a machine is learning, how do you know whether it's got you the right answer when you ask it a question? If it's learned something, it might have a different answer later on. How do you test that? I have no idea. I just think there are amazing challenges there, but and tools can help with doing the mundane work of testing. It has to be done, and anything that's boring to do is good to get a tool to do, but that doesn't replace people. People will still always be needed to do testing, because testing is not just mechanical things, testing is an intellectual thing. And that people will always be needed to testing, no matter how good the systems that we're testing. We still need people to interact with them.
Absolutely. And we're honored for this wonderful, wonderful, fascinating speech and inspiring the millions again. Thank you, Dorothy Graham. We hope to see you next year, and we hope to learn a lot from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the honor of being interviewed.
Thank you.